This place is such a mess. I really ought to get Margaret to clean it up. She's such a bad housewife. 2 out of 10 stars for housewifing.
Oh yeah, the bloody cat, I've got to get that done. Pictures in New York. It's not interesting me at all. Average. Very average pictures of New York there.
Dear Flamingo Land, I recently took a trip to North Yorkshire, a county formidable for their sights and sterling authenticity of culture. Within this trip, my wife and I visited your theme park Flamingo Land, a visit that we planned for many months. Theme parks are my game, and I can strongly say that the game is up for Flamingo Land. Margaret thinks I'm drinking tea. I'm actually drinking wine on a weeknight. Prior to the visit, I surfed your website, a website that was vibrant, well laid out, and oozed with excitement. That's not the issue, nevertheless, as I awarded the website 9 out of 10 stars, an extremely positive review, I may add. At this point, I would like to congratulate you on this achievement. Upon the entrance of Flamingo Land, I was greeted with the tone that would be the backbone of my experience. Dull, uncaring staff, hands in their pockets, staring at myself in a judgmental and spiteful manner. One even asked me to leave for no reason. That being Dale, a member of staff whom offended my integrity. I'll return to him in the latter stages of my letter. Now in the park, parched yet eager to get on the rides, I wanted a swift refreshment. H2O is my favourite consumable fluid. I drink around 2 litres a day, and I'm a fond believer that this healthy diet grants my positive lifestyle. To my dismay, the first kiosk I approached only sold fizzy drinks and iced slush. No H2O beverages. A thirsty man, I thought, no, I won't let this ruin my wife's day. It was our 50th wedding anniversary. I'm not a petty man, but a proud husband who would go to the moon and back for my wife. She's my soulmate, my angel, and the greatest woman to grace my precious path. For the first activity of the day, I made an executive decision to whet my appetite with the Lost River ride. I wanted to whet my appetite, not soak it. That detail aside, this average ride consisted of bored-looking rhinos, a giraffe with loose bowels, and an ostrich who didn't know whether he was coming or going. The ride was unbearably slow, exacerbated by a group of youths, one of which called me a dried-up old turd. I'm not a dried-up old turd. I told a member of staff at the end of the ride, but he just laughed at me. I wish I'd never found the Lost River ride. Dripping wet, we began queuing for a new ride. An hour passed, and to our dismay, a young chap came over and informed us that the ride wasn't open today. In fact, he had the cheek to tell us that it wasn't open until 2012. What a terribly delivered joke, and one that I didn't find amusing in the slightest. It doesn't even make sense. The unhelpful swine pointed us in the direction of the teacups. It was the least he could do. I really enjoyed them. Having warmed up my thrill-seeking desires, we decided to attempt the record-breaking Mumbo Jumbo. I wasn't impressed. A staff member made a joke that my wife's shoulder rest wasn't locked in, only seconds before the ride set off. It was a scary experience that I wish no one to encounter. The stupidity of the act left my wife in fear of her life. Ultimately, she messed herself. Something I don't wish to further elaborate on, however, I think is a relevant issue. After an unhealthy lunch consisting of chips and fizzy pop, which actually resulted in myself getting hiccups, we decided to give the theme park another chance. I believe in second chances. I once picked up a cat from a rescue home, only days after putting him there. The afternoon, in a nutshell, was not a refreshing experience. The nutshell was salted and left my mouth rather dry. Dale, who worked on Velocity, a ride that imitates motorbikes yet doesn't compare in the slightest, accused me of leaning on his bar, this being the gateway from the queue to the ride. I'm a proud OAP. I like to lean on things. It gives me stability as well as comfort. I retorted, "It's just a bar, sir." He replied, "It won't just be a bar if you don't let me on the ride." This sheer ignorance summed up a very disappointing day that was capped off when my wife began to cry in the car park. I didn't even see a flamingo! The closest I came to one was Dale, a little creature with glasses and a rather large beak. Flamingo Land is by far the worst theme park to grace my precious path. It's a humiliation to the theme park world, and I would like a full refund as well as a public apology. I think that's a very fair price to pay for such a boring day. Yours truly, Christopher Pigott.